When Pooh Shiesty came home, people expected noise. Chains back on, cameras rolling, a victory lap. Instead, there was silence. No 1017 shoutouts, no Gucci Mane praise, no celebration posts. And when an artist goes quiet like that, it's never random. Because this wasn't just any rapper coming home. This was the artist who carried a label while sitting in a cell. And what happened after his release raised a question nobody wanted to ask out loud. Did 1017 already move on from Pooh Shiesty before he even got back? To understand why this feels heavy, you have to remember what Pooh Shiesty meant to the label. In 2020, 1017 wasn't driving the conversation anymore. The roster was thinner. The buzz wasn't what it used to be. Then Back in Blood hit and everything flipped. That record didn't just chart, it took over. Playlists, streets, TikTok, radio. Pooh Shiesty became the face people associated with 1017 again. His project went platinum. His name carried weight. For a moment, it felt like the label had found its next era. Then the momentum stopped cold. In late 2021, Pooh Shiesty was sentenced on federal charges. For most artists, that's where the story ends. Fans move on, labels quietly distance themselves. The industry forgets fast, but that didn't happen here. While he was locked up, his numbers didn't die. They grew. Songs kept streaming. His name stayed circulating. Blogs kept mentioning him. People waited. The anticipation didn't fade, it stacked. Even Gucci Mane spoke publicly about missing him, about holding things down, about trimming the roster and keeping only a few artists. On the surface, it looked solid, loyal, like the door would still be open when Pooh came home. That's what made what happened next feel so strange. When Pooh Shiesty finally walked free, the industry expected a moment, a rollout, a welcome home push, something that showed appreciation for the artist who kept the label relevant while behind bars. That moment never came. Instead, Pooh posted something subtle but loud if you were paying attention. He said nobody really looked out for him. No label, no industry friends, just family and day ones. He didn't name Gucci Mane. He didn't have to. When you're signed to one label and say no label showed love, the message is clear. And that's when people started connecting dots. Because this wasn't just about emotion, this was about money. Before prison, Pooh Shiesty was on his original deal. A deal signed early when he was hungry and trying to break through. When he came home, everything had changed. His leverage was different. His numbers were higher. His name meant more. Word is the conversations that followed didn't reflect that growth. The offers reportedly looked like deals for someone still trying to prove himself, not someone who already had. And that's where things cracked. Pooh wasn't the same kid anymore. He understood the business better. He knew what his name was worth. And when respect doesn't match value, relationships die quietly. That silence after his release? It wasn't confusion, it was distance. But the situation runs deeper than contracts. While Pooh Shiesty was still locked up, tragedy hit close to home. His cousin Big Scar passed away in late 2022 due to an accidental OD. He was young, talented, also signed to 1017. Memphis felt that loss heavy. What followed made everything worse. Big Scar's family publicly claimed that instead of support, the focus was on retrieving the 1017 chain. Calls asking for help with funeral arrangements allegedly went unanswered. The family felt ignored, disrespected. For Pooh Shiesty, watching that unfold from behind bars wasn't just painful, it was revealing. That wasn't just a label mate, that was family blood. And how that situation was handled showed him exactly where priorities really sat. At that point, this stopped being business. Another layer that kept this from being resolved was communication. People close to the situation have said Gucci Mane doesn't even manage his own access anymore. His wife controls his phone, his social media, and who gets through. In regular life, that might be normal. In the music industry, it's a wall. Artists need direct conversations, real talks, private discussions about money, respect, and future plans. When everything runs through a third party, nothing gets settled. And even if Pooh wanted to sit down and clear the air, that door didn't seem open. That's when the power balance fully flipped. When Pooh Shiesty first signed, he needed the platform, the push, the cosign. Now, he already has the audience, the streams, the demand. Distribution can come from anywhere. Marketing follows his name. Features come because of who he is, not who he's signed to. Walking away became an option. Staying would mean accepting less than his worth. And after everything he'd been through, that wasn't happening. That's why the absence speaks louder than any diss ever could. No chains, no mentions, no loyalty talk, just distance. And this situation doesn't just affect one artist. Other artists watch moments like this closely. They pay attention to how labels act when the cameras turn off, how stars are treated after prison, who gets supported when things get uncomfortable. Labels that adapt survive, labels that don't lose their stars. Right now, 1017 doesn't have many options left. Pooh Shiesty was the centerpiece. Without him, the roster looks thinner, and reputation matters more than numbers. What started as a dream partnership turned into tension, silence, and broken trust. Pooh Shiesty went in as a rising artist who needed guidance. He came out knowing his value, understanding the business, and refusing to be treated like he's still desperate for a deal. That kind of shift changes everything. This could stay quiet, or it could spill into music. Hip-hop history tells us one thing for sure. When artists feel played, they eventually speak. Sometimes subtly, sometimes loudly. Either way, fans always hear it. So the real question is this: did Pooh Shiesty handle this the right way? Or is this another case of loyalty breaking down the moment value shifts? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want updates as this story continues to unfold, make sure you're subscribed, because this one isn't over yet.